we stand, and divided we fall. This phraseology has proven over and over and over again to be a most truthful account that has brought many powerful and beneficial moves to a screeching halt. Detroit has always been known for two things. First of all, Detroit was known as the Motor City. It was known as the Motor City because it was at one time the automotive capital of the world. Detroit was known as the city that put the world on wheels. Secondly, Detroit was known for great musical talents. We had Motown, a young man by the name of Gregory, that found many teenagers in the projects and on the streets of Detroit and put them in a little building, a little house on West Grand Boulevard called Hicksville, and began to use the automotive industry's progress and use their productivity to bring out and to press out wax albums, LPs, and 45. And let me say all you like. And he used that assembly line production method. He had standardized musicians called the Funk Brothers, and they played for everybody. And he brought one group in after another, and they recorded and they sang with the same musical genius and talents. And it created what the world found and came to know as the Motown sound. So Detroit was known as the Motor City and Motown. When I look at the demise of what we knew as Motown, it happened because many of these young people, raw talents, raw gifts, have been taken off the streets of Detroit. And because they were multi-talented, and because they were endowed with gifts of God to provide melodious music and instrumentation, their rise was so quick until their character didn't rise at the same pace. So they went from the projects and poverty of Detroit to instant fame, and in many cases, international notoriety. So while you had groups that would show up on American Bandstand and Soul Train, y'all better get real of it. What's that? You know exactly what that is. Y'all got put out of church from that after and was down for days. I sat down for 90 days. And because they didn't have maturity, that's right, you had on the surface these wonderful talents that were selling hundreds of thousands of records and LPs and had number one hits all over the country. And you would see them on the Ed Sullivan Show and all kinds of national television shows. But there was always some drama. Didn't matter whether it was the Supreme, Diana Ross didn't like Florence down. Didn't matter whether it was the Temptations, Eddie Gingrich couldn't get along with David Ruffin. Y'all better help me with that. Whether it was the Four Tops, Levi Stubbs and Alex with Duke the Cure, or whether it was Martha Reed and the Evangelist. And the Evangelist said, we tired of Temptations' #1 hits called A Ball. Yeah, I just didn't know. A ball of confused. Somebody said, listen, I've always been a Presiding bishop. I've been a Presiding bishop 2 years. I've been Chucky all my life. It all became a ball of confusion. It came to screeching halts, promise, notoriety, potential to be anything and to reach heights unknown. It all came to a horrible fall and crash. And at the end of the day, it all ended up many times in nothing. And many of those individuals who had promise, who had potential, notoriety, they died in poverty. All because the greatest threat to productivity and progress is confusion and disruption. This morning I just want to talk and show you the tale of two walls. The tale of two walls. The first wall that we see and examine is recorded in the book of Genesis. A people created by God. They endeavored to build a tower that would reach toward the heavens. They endeavored to build a wall that they would be able to climb and peek, as it were, over into the portals of glory. These people, they had purpose. These people, they had unity. These people, they had power. They had skill set. They had intellect. Didn't attend any universities. Didn't have any degrees. Didn't go to any carpentry schools. They were just endowed by God with gifts to move forward in productivity and progress. The Bible says that these people envisioned dwelling in a literal place that was only reserved for God himself. Can't you see God watching these folk? And he's sitting back and he is allowing them to do what they have purposed in their heart to do. God is watching them as they are building and making brick upon brick, placing stone upon stone. And as God looks at them, he says to himself, these people have singular purpose. These people, they have productivity. These people, they have authority. They have power. These people have envisioned to come up here and to look at me face to face. They wanted to see God. They had a respect for God. And they purposed to build a tower that would allow them to go up and to see God face to face.